me tell you one thing why America are interested in, or not America, let me not use America. All these Western power are interested in this. You see, we have a lot of things in the country. Being at peace, they can't steal it. You know this Zamfara that is the base for bandits.
Yes, I learned so.
It's all gold.
I even understand that they are currently exploring gold in Zamfara, and
yesterday a company opened here in Kano that they want to make is it a refinery? They use Hausa, I don't know the word for it. Like they say refinery for gold. They want to build one in Kano yesterday.
Wow.
So you see the country, if people are patient and then united, it will reach everybody. It will reach everybody, honestly. Like I'm happy you say that not even in Africa, there are a lot of countries we are doing better than.
Yes. You look at Ethiopia.
Look at the kind of
are you aware that the last body count, the last statistics that was reported as at last week in the civil war going on in Ethiopia is about 500,000 lives. Ethiopia is the second largest country in Africa, about 120 million people. And just in a space of about, they started this war since 2020, October 2020, 21-22, just in a space of about 2 years, over 500,000 people have died.
You see? Let me give you another example.
Ethiopia is a very beautiful country that was doing well.
Civilized, they were never colonized.
Yes. And all of a sudden, Western people, they showed interest in that country, and all of a sudden there's a chaos. And they've been at war. The same thing with DRC. The same thing with Somalia. Now, Somalia, they are deploying troops to Somalia. But they don't know what is going on. They've tried the Fulani herdsmen strategy. It didn't work. They've tried the Biafra agitation strategy. It didn't work. So,
did you know what? There's one thing, I don't know whether you can remember. Bitrus Gali. There was an interview he had with CNN. It's a long time ago.
Okay.
They asked him if he resigned, if he finished his time, which country would he like to go? He said Nigeria. The interviewer asked if he didn't hear him. He said, what? What do you say? He said Nigeria. He said, why do you say Nigeria? He said, if they plan to destabilize Nigeria by other countries, if they apply 10% to America, America will be disintegrated.
Wow.
God just kept quiet.
Wow.
Every day they are planning, to distract us so that they get what they want. Create enmity.
But I expected the government agencies, Ministry of Orientation, working in collaboration with the security forces and apparatus to actually have programs that would get Nigerian citizens informed. That look, Nigeria is at war, is at siege with Western forces. I know a lot of people are benefiting from this Western country. Some of them, they have relatives.
The bandit that is illiterate, don't know anything, who have connection with the plane dropping foods and stuff like that.
Yes.
Look at those people they release. The people who tell you they have their own drugs, they have food, they slaughter. They will not complain of all those things that ordinary person who is free in other part of Nigeria is complaining of. Where did they get this from? For very long, people have been saying they will see plane or helicopter.
Yes.
It's not new. Now, if you go and bomb those places, they will begin to talk about collateral damages.
Yes. They will even claim that the people that were killed were not they started following the so-called democracy. There were some that could be arrested. They were arresting them. They were charging them to court, and the judge, the judicial system would either set them free. They will set them free, and they will claim this is the three arms of government. The federal government cannot interfere with the judicial decision, and the people will claim, it's because they are from a certain part of the country. That is why they were allowed to go. And you will now wonder, so what should they do? Should they just extrajudicially be killing these guys? And they will have to face the ISIS. It will be another problem. It will be another problem. It will be considered war crime. So they are really monitoring. They are really monitoring. They want to cripple.
Make big mistake to justify their coming. They want us to get confused and make a silly mistake so that they can pound on us. Maybe they start with no flying zone, no blah blah, no stuff, their usual.
But I want to strongly believe. What do you think about this economy issues that we are having? Because in the last 2, 3, 4 years, Nigeria inflation rate has been one of the I think it's about 16% now. I think it's
true. You know.
It's about 16% now.
When you are not producing, let's be realistic. When you are having what they call airport economy.
Yes.
That is, it depends on everything.
You're consuming economy.
Yes, consuming economy.
Yeah, we're just
definitely
consuming.
Inflation will be high now.
Yes. And America is at war. But what do you think is responsible for this sudden crash against the naira and the dollar? I know that America is printing a lot of money currently, and their focus is the Ukraine war. They are shipping a lot of money to Ukraine. But that comes to, we had that similar problem during the palliatives time too, during the COVID-19. America was giving out money to their citizens, and there were a lot of pressure for dollar. And when there's a lot of pressure for a product, the price will go up. So, and it is the local currency of the countries that are demanding for those for their currency that will actually bear the brunt, because it will come to that country at a very huge cost. So I understand every time there's a huge
let me give you this
go ahead,
example. Please. The only thing we sell is petroleum. So the only thing that we can make money out of it has been expensive is petroleum.
Yes.
But don't forget that in UK, in America, the price of commodity, all the commodity has gone up.
Yes. There's a lot of
Now we need more volume of dollars.
Yes.
To buy what we normally buy.
Yes.
Now, as a a friend of mine was telling me, in UK, as a a liter of petroleum is £2.
Ooh.
That's British petroleum, £2.
Ooh, yeah. In America, it's average of $5 as well. In national average in America, it's about $5, and that is $5 multiplied by 600. That is a liter. You're looking about 3,000 naira for a liter.
I think we know Nigeria is still enjoying.
3,000 naira per liter. Nigerians must know that a liter of fuel in America is 3,000. And in Ghana is about 400 plus now, if you look at naira. So there's no way, because people are talking about fixing the refinery for 8 years. They couldn't fix the refinery. I said, well, you need private sector to come take over this.
How about even the money?
But it's not attractive. That is why Mr. Dangote was saying that, guys, don't get too excited. When I finish my refinery, I may not sell to Nigeria, because you guys are looking for cheap petrol.
That's true.
And it is your government that will be selling you cheap petrol, subsidizing it for you guys. How will I pay my investors? People who gave me money, people who gave me money to set up this refinery, though in Nigeria, I'm going to pay back. There's a return on investment. And therefore, when I finish refining my petroleum product, I will ship it. I will ship it to all these African countries where they will buy at a correct price. But you guys are buying at less than 200 naira a liter. I cannot sell in Nigeria. So
I are shouting petroleum. So blah, blah, this is that.
So how can investors come in to set up refinery or buy the existing refinery when we federal government doesn't allow the price of oil, price of petrol to be free? It's supposed to be a free market.
Yes,
it's supposed to be a free market. If, for example, they allow Jonathan to remove that subsidy, if they have allowed Jonathan to remove that subsidy, by now almost all of our refineries will be working because it would have attracted investors. In fact, Dangote would have probably bought one of the refineries instead of building a new one, and we would be able to refine more petroleum products. It will even create more jobs here,
of course,
and people will be able to afford to buy, even if it is 300 a liter. But yes. I think Nigerians are not this dumb not to understand these things, but they don't have the information, and I think that is where we are lacking. Nigerians need to understand this information so that they will know that, look, it is on the long run, it is for our own good.
There's a guy, there's one guy, I think it's one fake guy, I forgot his name, he's doing good, he's doing great job.
Who is that?
Tall one, half, I think it's Mulatto's. He's working either advisor for the president.
Okay.
Half white.
Okay, that used to work on Channels TV.
Yes, I saw him on
that
Channels.
That guy is quite informed, but it's just one person. He's just one person,
That's what
and there's nothing he says, because he is working with the current administration. It will be seen, it will be projected to be biased or not to be factual. But I wish there were independent people, the likes of what is it called now, the likes of Pastor Tunde Bakare,
yes.
People like Pastor Tunde Bakare need to organize events where they will be objective. They will analyze African economies. They will analyze, we are tired of people talking about problems. Everybody is always talking about problems. It's about time Nigerians begin to demand that, look, guys, we know all the problems. We are here. We've been living here all our lives. Can you tell us what is the way out? Your strategies. And I think it's about time the PDP, there's got to be either a bill or something that will make it compulsory for at some point these political parties, there's got to be a converging point. APC, PDP think tanks, and Labour Party, and other parties, AMPP, let them come together. Let them come together and say, look, let's put our politics aside. This is our nation. This is our nation. And we have a challenge. We have a challenge. And how can we fix this challenge? This has nothing to do with who is in office.
No.
This has nothing to do with who is going to be next in office. But this is about our survival as a nation. We have children that is coming up. What country would they grow into? We don't want this misinformation and disinformation and strategy by the likes of the CIA and all these foreign agencies interfering into everything to misinform the youth and plunge the country into chaos. When you plunge the country into chaos, then it will be much more, it will reverse this country beyond even minus 1960, far beyond all of our gains since 1960. It will take us far back into the Stone Age. And that is why it's important, I know there's a lot of them, and some of these clergies, they depend on their private jets to escape when there is problem. But it is not about them escaping. When they escape, one day, even if they escape to Europe, they escape to America, one day, they will have to come back home.
They will be homesick.
And it's important. Those are individuals that can escape. What happens to the innocent people that are coming? What happens to our children?
They don't care.
Like the 500,000 people that have died in Ethiopia now, where these are people, including children, innocents, that would have had a decent life. This is the future of the country. Now they've been killed just because there's a disagreement and the things went crazy. We're a nation of 200 million people, not in the history of the world that United Nations has been involved in humanitarian assistance. Look at Ukraine. What's the population of Ukraine? They're already complaining. They cannot handle the refugee from Ukraine.
Once it goes longer, they'll
so what happens? So we should know that, look, look at America. America has started to back out gradually because Russia is gaining ground and is telling America that if you make any further step, we have nuclear weapon ready.
Yes.
And America is gradually leaving Ukraine to its fate. So Nigeria should understand that, look, nobody will come to our aid, and no white man loves a black man so much that he will take the interest of the black man before his own interest.
No way.
It's about their own personal corporate interest. Look,
Yes.
Our politicians may not be perfect. They may not be perfect because they are not angels. And Nigerians, I don't think we are looking for angels to govern us.
No.
But we need to understand that we've got to work together as a people. The idea of let us break the country, let us go our separate ways, you are still going to have smaller Nigerians, and you will get weaker. You will get weaker, and the minorities will suffer more.
Of course. Do you get the point now?
I understand these things, but I think more needs to be done. It's not just Azuri, or what is his name, the guy working with the president. I think we need a whole major approach by various agencies of government, by various NGOs, by religious organizations. Unfortunately, the religious organizations and these leaders, they've now become politicians themselves.
Yes, they are
Instead of creating peace, instead of uniting and creating peace, they are inciting violence. They are inciting unruliness. They are supposed to be a source of hope to Nigerians, but they are rather exploiting them emotionally. They're exploiting their frustration. Nigerians are frustrated, and they are taking advantage of them, that they are identifying with Nigerian suffering. But it is these same religious leaders that are laundering money for politicians.
Of course.
They are laundering money for politicians. They are laundering money for politicians. When you have a new administration, and that administration is going very hard on graft, on corruption, then they begin to come to their pulpit and they begin to castigate that government. Why don't you look at the greater good of the people? Why don't you tell people that, look, yes, I've got personal beef with this guy because he's eating too hard on corruption and it's affecting my income.